Harry first appears in MobLand episode 4 as he goes to see Antoine, the Frenchman. He relinquishes the memory card following some light threats, along with the duplicate that he had hidden. Antoine tries to bribe Harry with $40,000, but is unaware of his dealings with Harry. Given Harry's allegiance to the Harrigans, it works out roughly as expected, and he promptly exits after reinserting the money into the man's mouth. Harry then makes an appearance on the boat to meet up with Jan and Gina. Gina quickly puts on her headphones, knowing that she's going to hear him grumbling about how hard he works all the time. While Harry reviews the first 3 episodes, Jan fires back, listing 3 things she doesn't like about the show, one of which is being confused about what's going on. She's happy where she is and has accepted Harry's actions, but only on the condition that he keep them a secret from her. Harry gives in to her desire to return home. The news that Archie has been located reaches Conrad via phone. 2 persons at most appear to have knowledge of his burial site, Harry and Conrad. Conrad insists there must be another person involved, but Maeve manages to persuade him otherwise, heightening the tension in the situation. Both Kevin and Harry are idling their fingers and hoping for the best when Harry shows up to visit them. Donnie, who claims to be searching for Harry, shows up at the garage, but they have heard nothing from Valjean. He appears to be familiar with Zoja as well. And when Harry learns about this man, he again brushes it aside, pretending not to know him. It turns out that Maeve and Conrad, who are after Harry and Jan, are actually trying to warn him about this guy. But over at the yard, Kevin and Harry are reminiscing about the past, and more especially about the terrible prison guard from the last episode. Kevin insists that the name Rusby is unfamiliar to him, but he isn't without his own secrets. Bella used to drop by the house occasionally, and Conrad had an affair with her. It was Maeve who informed him, and when questioned, Bella corroborated the tale. They first crossed paths at Cheltenham, and it seems like Kevin was enamored with her after being with Conrad. It further emphasizes the disarray of the situation. After Jan's therapy session, he texts Alice, the woman from the first episode, to tell her how he feels about Harry. But when Conrad arrives at the flat, he starts flirting with Alice. Conrad tells Jan she's family and threatens her if she doesn't leave. So things quickly turn ugly, as if she were being followed on her stroll with Alice. She is cautioned not to tell anyone about the marriage. Jan is quite distressed as he departs. Someone calls Harry that night and asks him to meet Richie. He returns home one last time to tell Jan about Conrad sniffing around before he leaves. To my surprise, Alice is actually a covert police officer. Thanks to Conrad's advances, she has a hunch, but she's playing it very dangerously. At the estate, Maeve had a conversation with Eddie. Got everyone exactly where we want them, she says with assurance, taking a leap of faith. This proves that Eddie stabbed Tommy, and it also shows that Maeve is manipulating things. There seems to be another strategy in the works as well. Later that night, Harry visits Bella and hands her the memory stick along with the duplicate. But Bella isn't going to back out of the deal, so she calls Antoine to arrange everything. Kevin is passed by Harry on the stairway as he departs. Bella and Kevin's relationship is strained due to Kevin's forced affection and Bella's growing uncertainties. Afterward, in the car, we learn that Kevin is also familiar with the identity of this prison guard. There has been no confirmation of the nature of the assault, although it was likely sexual, which is why he lied to Harry and ignored it. The man had a history of violent behavior against Kevin. When Harry arrives, he sees Richie. Valjean is still alive, and he brings Harry in to stab the guy repeatedly. He does it without thinking twice and even volunteers to help with the cleanup. It would appear that Richie has bought the whole story about the club owner. But in this MobLand episode 4 review, important information was also divulged to us. Keep in mind that the elderly guy Harry met in the nursing home, whose jail officer was especially cruel to Harry and Kevin while they were inmates there, has now been introduced. It's reasonable. His introduction was enough to have him cast aside. Still, Harry questions Kevin about the villainous crew, revealing that he hasn't forgotten about him. The expression on Kevin's face betrays his denial. Not long after, we begin a disturbing flashback. It shows that the guard is not only familiar with Kevin, but that he severely abused him. Even more chaotic than MobLand is, than what I previously acknowledged. If this revelation is meant to explain Kevin, let me remind you that the jail guard was last seen in an elderly home, hardly able to feed himself. In case this is meant to imply that he may become involved in this convoluted plot, the story's sole thread has been resolved, as I indicated before. Apparently, Harry's ploy worked on Richie, but they haven't even left the forest yet. The Harrigans are apparently Richie's preferred mourners for Tommy's funeral. Here we go again, goes the musical cue. As Kevin points out, Conrad is unable to silence even Harry's wife. So, I have my doubts about his ability to make Henry VII blush. Episode 4 of MobLand is titled Rat Trap, due to the increasing controversy around an informant in the Harrigan crew. Nevertheless, I almost neglected to mention it because it is so unimportant. What does it signify if one of them is a turncloak? I have no idea who is on whose side. Maybe we should speculate on it. Or maybe the next episode will resolve the whole plot. This is how things work in MobLand.